Hello. OBS, why do you take so long to pick up YouTube video? Hello, everybody. How you doing? It's Shadowverse Sunday, and that might be considered incest, but it might be just consider it. I'm just grateful. I've always got someone to say hello to at the start of the streams. My tea was far too hot. Yes. Welcome everyone. As you may notice, as hopefully if you've seen on the Twitter announcement, I have new emotes drawn by the wonderful If Snow Zombie. Unfortunately, because Twitch is Twitch, only half of them got approval quickly enough. So only half of them are usable right now. But hopefully they won't take as long as they did usually. Also, in my haste to upload them and make sure they'd be available as soon as possible, ASAP, probably didn't do such a good job on cropping them down because he's not usually like... F Snow is like an artist I'm subscribed to on Patreon, and I just get regular arts from him. And so I was like, hey, can you do emotes? And he was like, sure. Because I've seen him doing this in the past, but he doesn't crop them. I am pretty damn good. As I said, lots of good things happening. Yeah. But yeah, I've got the angry, the laugh, and the scarediness, and there's a... They're all very lovely, and if you can go check out. Thank you. Go check out it is that you just have to go via the you have to go via the my Twitter post to find F Snow Zombie and check them out. They do really good art. They draw lots of they're a big fan of drawing pretty ladies in armor, so if you like that, they're a good artist to check out. Yeah, I'll probably be getting more art for them in the future, but I've got another artist who's working on something else for me. Not emotes, just some art. There's another regular artist of mine. As I said, artist that I'm subscribed to on Patreon. I get regular art from. Because now I can use it for VTubing things, I just have to give them a bit of extra money so that I'm actually allowed to use. So I'm actually good. Yes, I do need to do... I was thinking about not needing to do it because of the... Yeah, I do need to update the credits section when I get the time to it. I do need to... Because I was thinking, it's got the Twitch credit system, but that would require F Snow to actually log into their Twitch account, in which they cannot be bothered to. They gave me their Twitch account, Twitch details, so I could add them as credit, but it doesn't actually let them, like, understandably, it doesn't let you just randomly credit any artist. The artist actually has to go, yes, has to actually approve it as well. It's like, if they're not going to be if they don't use Twitch anyway. But yeah, I'll definitely have to put it in the credits when I get around to it. It's just I've been sorting out a lot of stuff, been getting ready. I've got most things ready for the karaoke stream. I just mostly have to decide when I'm doing it because this week is being a bit awkward. Like, I've just got a lot of busy things happening, and then also Pokemon is coming out on Friday. So I'm like, all my good, like, extra stream days. Because there's other stuff I want to do. I want to do some more... He's the climb to affiliate. That I'm very fortunate. I was very quick. I got there very quickly thanks to all the lovely support from people like yourself, Caden, always being there, being ready to give me watching so I could get to that because I have a lot of people like actually it's the follow account that Sometimes it can't be the follower count that's like hard to get to, it's the concurrent viewers that could be quite hard for some smaller streamers. So I was very unfortunate that wasn't really a big problem for me, so I could get affiliate pretty much the moment I hit 50. Is hopefully you can get it too soon, and then you get the fine pleasure of Twitch taking half of your money. But it's just what we gotta do in this world. You gotta pay the toll because there's no other option. Maybe one day, well, I guess there's YouTube, but YouTube's not really you can't get monetized unless you've got 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, so this doesn't help that much anyway. Speaking of subscribers and subscribers to Twitch, I do need, hopefully, can get, I might need to do like just the basic goal just to like kind of poke people towards it, because I need to get more emote slots basically, because I don't have enough so I want to put all the emotes I just got from Epsno on tier 1, but I can't do that because I've only got 5 slots. Which, why don't you let me have more slots to start with? And also I don't have any like I will get follower emote slots, but Yeep, it's just Twitch is particularly bad with it. Like YouTube has a better revenue split, but it's harder to get it's harder to like get a foothold on YouTube. So then you need to start like actually making edited videos that people will watch, and then once you've got that, then you can start. It's probably fine if you're like streaming and you don't want to make any money, but I am poor, so I would like. I mean, also Twitch just has a better like way of interacting with the community. Like on YouTube, it's very hard for you to like. They haven't really got a good rating system. It's hard to like find other. It's good for streamers to know to get to know other streamers. Twitch is really good for. YouTube, not so much. YouTube's much better if you've already got like established friends in the area. It's good to have as a backup as well. I really need to I've been really lax on keeping up with uploading VODs to YouTube. I really should get it on because I really want to get the Signalis VODs up on there soon. I'm like, maybe I'll just upload them now. But yeah, that was it. But yeah, I really just need to like keep working on that and possibly get the start making like proper thumbnails for it. Which I can do now that I have fancy art and rather than just a still of my face, but I can just use a still of my face, I guess. Yeah, I need to like do some I need to, you know, just get a basic thumbnail template that I can easily put over like the game logo and stuff. Because I've seen a lot of other streamers do that for, I quite like how That at Video Games, Moriko Kyoko does hers. She just has a very simple style where she's got a little border with the number of the stream and a little appropriate picture of her safe. Yeah, I don't have enough like hard drive space, and most of my hard drives are like weird and old, so I don't keep anything on locally, so I just need to really get around to backing more stuff up on YouTube so that doesn't get removed off Twitch if Twitch starts saying, oh no, it's going to start deleting your highlights after so much time. But anyway, that's probably enough talking to let people get in. It's a good time to let's boot up the Shadowverse. I'm now gonna try doing a I wasn't feeling up for doing one last week, but this week I think I can. He's time to card Peach. Welcome. Right, let's switch to Game sheet, swap over there. Game capture to Shadowverse. And here we go. Still in. There's been an interesting time in Shadowverse meta. Is there's like a lot of in the like. It's ended up with like the void of no more like oppressive artifact portal has made more of an impact than like any of the buffs have. Because like gold coin sword. Oh, the rotation cup started. I should probably do that entry, but it's about to reset, so we'll actually be able to get many games in. Yeah, I can't be bothered. I've got a deck guide to do, so I'll have to miss it out. But oops, forgot about that. Should have done that earlier today. But yeah, like glittering gold sword didn't really pick up as much. The main sword archetypes are either standard aggressive rally or this deck that I'll be doing a guide on, which is a more of a combo deck, but it is also kind of a mid-range deck built around a Swift Speed Kit Blader. But yeah, like Wrathblood didn't really make a big like Wrathblood got is like a decently playable deck, but it's not really made a splash, and in a lot of places a lot of people are still running handless. And yeah, so it's mostly and a lot of people are running various Havencraft's very popular. A lot of people are running various forms of Havencraft. Either it's like a heal control form or crystallize Havencraft, which is still going pretty alright. But yeah, the kind of like newest deck that's come out is this deck, which I'll be going through shortly. It suffers from a lot of the same problems that a lot of other sword decks do. Yeah, that's it. Let's just go. So let us go to our deck screen. So this is Quickblader Sword. This is a list that I think I pulled off JCG winner a couple of days ago, like a week or so ago. And I think the list hasn't really changed much. It's kind of like got a kind of like perfect balance to it, so let's go into the deck editor and actually have a go through it. Have a proper look because the deck editor puts all the cards. So the main like name of the deck comes from this card, which is Swift Speed Quickblader, which is like a retrain of the original basic Quickblader card. It's like a basic sword card character. This one's a 2-play.2/1 storm. And the main thing that makes it a combo piece is the fact that when you evolve it, it can attack two times per turn. So the idea is you play that with a bunch of buffs that it is kind of a mistake, but it does all pull together in the same kind of direction. So the deck is kind of like all pulling to around, leading to this turn where you play a Swift Speed Quickblader, you evolve it, and you buff it to heck. So to facilitate that, you've got the basic card Forge Weaponry, which is 3-play point gears +4/+4. So with Swift Speed hitting 2 times per turn, that already adds 8 damage. Because a lot of the deck is built around getting to the rally count, rally 10 really quickly, because it's got a lot of rally 10 cards. Then you've got stuff like Badab-Katha, who is also a buff. You sometimes have to make a bit of a coin flip, because of course Morgana's Gospel isn't a targeted buff, and you might not have a way to like... And if you like have to play Badab-Katha on the same turn as you're playing your Swift Speed Quickblader, then you have a 50-50 chance of the Morgana's. So I should probably go into... Yeah. So the deck is built around Swift Speed Quickblader and is then supplemented with buff cards. Badab-Katha is a fairly versatile legendary neutral that works pretty well well, the things, it's a 3-play.2, so just to explain it properly, it's a 3-play.22 with the fanfare it gives +1/+1 to another random allied follower, so that can't hit Badab-Katha herself. You draw a card and you restore 1 defense to your leader. So on its base level, it's a fairly decent card if you've already got even just 1 card on the board. So it's if you've got a card on the board from, like, say, turn 2 and you play Badab-Katha, then you buff that card, you get a card, you also cycle, and it's just generally pretty good. One of the main reasons. So that's like half the reason. Half the reason is she's just a really solid 3-cost card that helps you cycle through your deck, whilst also healing a little bit and buffing a little bit. So that buff, you don't have to worry about like holding Badab-Kathas onto later, unless you're going second, I'd say. You'd usually, if you've got something on board and you have Badab-Katha in hand, it's usually best to play Badab-Katha on 3. Now, what she does, if you've used at least 3 of your Evo points, then you get a very powerful spell called Morgana's Gospel, which is gives a random allied follower +3/+3. You draw 3 cards and you restore 3 defense to your leader. So that +3/+3 is one of the main reasons you run this card, because because it reduces the cost of the Morgana's Gospel from 3 to 1. That becomes a very cost-efficient buff to hit on your Swiss-Speed Quickblader. So what you'll usually want to do in order to guarantee that this hits like your Swiss-Speed Quickblader, rather than say the Badab-Katha you just played, is you'll play the Badab-Katha the turn before and hold on to the Morgana's Gospel to play it when the Swiss-Speed Quickblader that you play on like your next turn is the only thing on the board. And thank you very much for following. Sunny days. Welcome, welcome. We're in the middle of a little deck guide to Quickblader Swordcraft. I'm just going through some of the core cards. So another kind of core card is probably Golden Warrior, which is a bit of a weird choice, but so it takes a bit of explaining. So one of the main things Golden Warrior does, it's a 3-play.23 with fanfare. He puts a random spell from your deck into your hand. This is important because your spells are all fairly core, because your spells are either a buff or a tutor effect. We'll get to Royal Summons in a bit. But like Angel's Grace is another buff card. It's just which is very good for dealing with opponents that play wards, because you can play this. And so you don't have to worry about your Quickblader being stopped by wards. You can just go straight face. There's only one other deck, because you only usually need the one. Because you're only ever playing this when you kill something, and because you're drawing spells with your Golden Warriors, you're usually pretty quickly able to get your spells. So you get your Forge Weaponries, an Angel's Grace, your Swiss-Speed Quickblader, and like that will do a lot of that, can quite easily kill. Because whilst it's not usually a full like Swift Speed into Forge Weaponry into Angel's Grace is like, that's usually a turn 8 or 9 play, and that's anything, and that kind of can kill, but you're usually just playing one or the other, and maybe Morgana's Gospel. Spilt tea on myself, but thankfully not on any of my computer. Teach me to talk whilst drinking. But yeah, so the other big effect from Golden Warrior is his Evolve effect, where he summons an Arthurian Light, which is a Swordcraft amulet that counts as a commander, which can be important. So I'm just taking off my hoodie that I've got tea all over the sleeve. But yeah, anyway, so not missing a beat. When you evolve him, he summons this Swordcraft amulet called Arthurian Light, which has has two kind of handy effects. Like, it gives, whenever an allied follower that originally costs 1 play point comes into play, he gives it Storm, so it can attack your opponent's leader immediately. And at the start of your turn, you summon a knight, which is, of course, a 1 play point token follower. So that gets Storm from the amulet's effect. So that's kind of two things, is that helps. There's a few 1 play point followers in the deck already, depending on how you've built the deck. And it also helps, just gives you a steady flow of followers that helps your rallying ego up, because as I said, there's a lot of cards in the deck like Forge Weaponry that really want you to hit rally 10. And the other two like core cards that kind of do similar things is Opulent Strategist and Takatsumi. We'll do Takatsumi first because he's the older card and he's a simpler one. These are 2-point 2/2 with Fanfare, puts the Hero of the Hunt spell into your hand, which is a very simple spell that deals, on its base, it's a simple spell that deals 5 damage to an enemy follower, and if you have Rally 10, it gives all of your allies an effect that reduces damage from effects by 1, so that saves can help you have a board stick against like various ping type effects, like Bellerophon from Haven, or Skeleton Raider from Shadowcraft and the like. And also that includes your face, so it's also quite useful against stuff like Forestcraft as well. Because whilst a lot of their effects deal like 2 damage, like the fairies from Nobilis and the board hit from PSI, that's still reducing the damage by 1, so that's making it half effective, and also it means like PSI's face damage doesn't do anything, because that's only 1 damage per ping. And then he's got the Rally 10, which is also one of the main reasons you play him, is that he recovers an evolution point. So that even if you're going, this is important because you're going to be aggressively using your evolution points so that you get Badab Katha's effect as soon as possible. You always want, with this deck, it is very important to be evolving every turn, like using an evo point every turn if possible, because you want to get those Morgana's Gospels as soon as possible. And when you evolve him, he subtracts the cost 2 from the cost of a random Hero of the Hunt in your hand, so that takes it from a 2-cost spell to a 0-cost spell, which is very powerful. Because that can quite easily, that makes him a very powerful like board control tool on Evo. And like the other card you have is Opulent Strategist, which is a very versatile card. Because there's like Fanfare. Put one of the following cards into your hand, and all of these are 3 fairly useful spells, though in this deck you're only really looking at 2. Dual Blade Flurry isn't usually used in this deck. But it's not usually used in a lot of decks, it's usually one of these. You get Wee Merchant's Appraisal, which is probably what you'll be using most of the time in this deck, because it's more Evo point recovery. This is one of the kind of like the powerful things Swordcraft has right now, is that it has a lot of Evo point recovery from the combination of Opulent Strategist and Takatsumi, and they're both cards you can put in pretty much any Forestcraft deck. And yeah, Wee Merchant's Appraisal is good because it gives, not only does it recover you an Evo point, but it puts 2 other cheap spells into your hand, which you can use to trigger her various effects, which we'll go over in a second. The other spell is Graceful Maneuver, which is your go-to for board clearing. If your opponent just has a strong board, it's pretty good. It's pretty good to get, especially if you've got the Rally 10 and it costs 0. Because when you play a spell, you auto-evolve the Opulent Strategist, so that doesn't count for your Evo use for the turn. And whilst she's evolved, she has various effects every time you play a spell. So if you have, like, say, 5 play points, you can play her, play a 0-cost Wee Merchant's Appraisal, and then play both the spells to draw a card and buff your board. Because the healing doesn't activate, because she doesn't see the spell go off, and she doesn't have this effect going on before she's evolved. So when you play your first spell of the turn, she'll see that and evolve. So when you play another spell that turn, she'll already be looking, that's your second spell this turn, so you draw a card. And then the third spell to give +1/+1 to all allied followers. So if you've got a board already existing then that can be quite powerful. And also the Gilded Necklace is another cheap buff spell, which isn't particularly, as I said, can be useful with the Swiftweed Quickblader, but you don't feel the need to save it because it's not usually going to be a deciding factor, but it is there. It's it's another buff, and he's also, any buffs are good buffs for the fastest man. And yeah, the last spell is Dual Blade Flurry, which is a 5 play points spell, so it only gets reduced to 2 play points rather than 0, unlike the other 2 options. It's like give rush to an allied follower, that follower can attack 2 times per turn, which is not particularly useful because Swift Speed Quickblader already attacks 2 times per turn. So it's only really useful if you're using one of the 1 play point followers that buffs itself, that we'll go over in a second. But you'll almost never take Dual Blade Flurry in that case. It's almost, like, most commonly is going to be Wee Merchant's Appraisal, then Graceful Maneuver if you really need the board clear. You generally try and save this to play until after you've hit that rally 10, but obviously if you need it, you need like a board presence, it can't be good. If you've got like a cheap spell already in hand, like not Angel's Grace because you want to save it, but like a Royal Summons or the Glittering Gold from Suave Bandit, then you can just get, say, a Wee Merchant's Appraisal and then play a spell for the free Evo. Or even Victorious Blader's Acceleration. Victorious Blader is pretty simple in this deck. He's mostly just played for the acceleration effect, because it's just a very good 2 play points for 1 card for 2 rally. It's a 1/2 and a 1/1, which is very nice. But his body is also pretty useful if you're having trouble. Like usually turn 7 or turn 8 you'll be able to kill, but sometimes you won't be able to kill. So having Victorious Blader as a backup was pretty good. He's one of the few legendaries you can replace as a budget, because you can just replace him with there is basics. Was it a basics? Okay, you can just replace him with, like, if you're really hurting for vials, you can replace him with Oathless Knight, which is worse in a lot of ways. But like I said, if you need to make this deck on a budget, then that's one of the only legendaries you can really replace, because the rest of these are pretty important to the deck overall. If you don't have Opulent Strategist, you just don't have the versatility and board clear power. Don't have Takatsumi, that's more removal you're losing, which makes your control significantly weaker. Adam Katha is also less cycling. Golden Warrior is less cycling, less tutoring, and without the Arthurian Light, your deck has a much harder time of like chipping in damage before your final blow. That's what mainly one of the things the Arthurian Light is for, is chipping in damage with these knights and your other 1 play point followers, who we shall go. Oh yeah, and other cards. Well, last legendary is Metatron, who's been seen in a lot of decks. Metatron is one of those cards that you see around. It's fairly simple. She's a decent 2 play point 1/4 ward is always good, because that's a hard body for your opponent to punch through in the early turns. The leader is good because you want to chip them down so that you can get that to make it easier for Swiftweed Quickblader to kill. And the ramp on Evo, if you're going second, yeah, because you've got so much Evo point recovery, you can maybe get ramp on later turns, but usually you only really have the opportunity to ramp like once anyway. Any more is usually a bit overkill. It's not going to help you out much, but it can do. And so it's definitely a possibility, just because you have all this evolution point recovery. And then Guiding Bellery Angel, your 2 play point 0/2 ward that has a damage shield. Was very annoying. Very useful combined with Badab Katha, because obviously going from 0 attack to 1 attack is actually quite powerful. That means it actually costs them to trade into it rather than just bumping it for free. And obviously it's just your useful last words. Draw a card, evolve, draw a card, gain power. It's just another useful way of like holding out until you get to your combo, basically. And then one of the other major spells that isn't a buff is Royal Summons, which is 1 play point, put a random 2 play point Swordcraft follower from your deck into your hand. And Rally 10, put 2 different ones into your hand and subtract 1 from their costs. This is that second part is important because your only 2-cost Swordcraft followers are Taketsumi and Swiftweed Quickblader. So if you play this before Rally 10, you've got a usually 50-50 chance of getting your Quickblader in hand, but you usually want to wait until you hit Rally 10 so that you're guaranteed a Quickblader and you get the cost reduction on it, which makes it, as it turns out, from a 2 play point follower into a 1 play point follower, which makes that really strong and enables you to kill a lot earlier because you can like do a turn 7 turn where you play Swiftweed Quickblader and like 2 Forge Weaponries, and that's yeah, that's a 10 attack Swiftweed Quickblader, so that's 20 damage, that's an OTK. But you usually won't get a straight up OTK with Swiftweed Quickblader. There's usually other things you play alongside it, which is where this kind of suite of 1/1s come in. Because the idea is you have a bunch of these 1/1s. Some of them are just like useful 1/1s, like Wayfaring Goblin, which is a very good first turn play, and Bumpkin Recruit, which also is just a 1/1 cycles that eventually gets rush. But then you've got stuff like Penguin Guardian, which is a 1/1 ward that puts a Great Shield into your hand, which is a 2 play point amulet that buffs an allied follower's defense by 1, and then when it on last words it summons a 1/1 ward, which is nice. But you'll mainly be playing that after its Rally 5 effect is triggered, which is it gains +2/+2. So if anyone's confused, Rally 5 is just whenever how many allied followers have come into play. So once you've had 5 allied followers come into play, your Penguin's Guardians will be 3/3s, and they will get Storm off of they still get Storm off Arthurian Light because it's still a 1 play point follower. So that's where some of your extra damage comes in. And some of the other extra damage comes in from Brave Vanguard, which mostly punishes your opponent's board playing a wide board. Because it's like if there's 1 enemy follower in play, gain rush. And so you get a 1 play point 1/2 rush, which is pretty good. And so there's 3, it gets +1/+1 on Bane, which is pretty good, especially if it gets Storm. And if the opponent's played 5 followers, it gains +2/+2 and can attack 2 times per turn. So that can work as an additional Swiftweed Quickblader. If your opponent's playing a wide board, like they're playing fairies, usually players very wide boards, then if you can get that Brave Vanguard effect running, then that is a 3/4 Storm that attacks twice per turn, which is actually better than Swiftweed Quickblader, especially because it gets some stats on Evo. So if you've got the Arthurian Light in play and Brave Vanguard available to trigger, then that can actually be quite strong. And with the but obviously that's a far more situational effect because your opponent needs to have 5 followers in play for him to be able to attack twice. And there's a Suave Bandit in hand who's mostly there as a he's a 1 play point 1/1 Bane, which is nice. And he puts 2 spells in your hand, which synergizes quite well with Opulent Strategist. And he also synergizes well with the spells also, with the his effect when he's evolved to deal 3 damage to a random enemy follower. And of course, if you've got Arthurian Light, that's a 1 play point 1/1 Storm. Pretty good. That's kind of... Also note that the Wayfaring Goblin, I think I glossed over it a bit much, which is a 1 play point 1/1 with Fanfare. If it's your first turn, you draw a card. If it's your 8th turn or later, he automatically evolves, which is again quite nice because that's a free 3/3. That's 3 damage, so 3 damage with Arthurian Light in play. And at the end of your turn, he also heals you, so he can help you survive to get to your combo against more aggressive decks. Because it can be quite useful to just play him as an evolve target. think that's the deck. This is a fairly simple deck, all things considered. It's a fairly straightforward one-track game plan. You kind of like just generally control, where the aim is basically to play your kind of like mid-range, early control-ish board, using stuff like Opulent Strategist and Taketsumi to recover Evo points whilst also keeping your opponent controlled. You want to get to Rally 10 pretty quickly, which is usually done with a combination of Golden Warrior and Victorious Blader's Accelerate. Probably should explain Victorious Blader's body. I don't think I'd actually explain that properly. It is a 7 play point, 5/8 rush that can attack twice per turn. Whilst he's in play, your leader and all allied followers in play can come into play have the following effect, which is reduced damage taken by 3, which is a very wordy way of saying whilst Victorious Blader is in play, everything on your side, including your face, takes 3 less damage from any source. That can be effects or attacks or anything. So that's why he's like one of the reasons he's a much better card to have than Oathus Knight, because he's got that versatility of playing this very big, threatening body. Because it's a decently chunky body for 7 play points, and but he's also got this effect that makes it very hard to kill him and reduces damage taken to you. And there's some decks that just have a really hard time dealing with them because they don't have a lot of big damage or hard removal. But yeah, I don't really know what else is like included in the deck, and there's not many. Like, you could probably take out Suave Bandit for another Brave Vanguard if you find yourself playing against a lot of really wide board odd decks, but still probably best to keep one Suave Bandit in. Maybe you could take out a Bellringer Angel for another Royal Summons for a bit more consistency, or an Angel's Grace if you're really having trouble with wards. But there's not a lot of room for switching things around. As I said, the only real substitution you can make to make it any cheaper is swapping out Victorious Blader for Oathless Knight. Which isn't a terrible idea, because Victorious Blader is... pretty sure Victorious Blader is rotating out soon. Like, yeah, anyway, we don't need to check. We haven't changed anything, so we don't need to save. Let me just check. Is Victorious Blader rotating out soon? Oh, we need to return to the screen to get our daily bonus. But yeah, so overall, a fairly simple deck that's all about staying alive, dealing bits of damage to your opponent, and then saying, okay, Quick Blader buffs, kill. So I'll probably... So yeah, I'm just double checking. Sets, what's rotating out? So we just had... yeah, we just had Velsar, so it is Renaissance Chronicle. No, Renaissance Chronicles just rotated out, so yeah, it is Dawn of Calamity that's rotating out. So that will be... So yeah, we're losing Royal Summons. That's pretty spicy. Yeah, I think the only other Swordcraft card being lost in the next rotation is Victorious Blade. I said rotation's not for a while. We're not even at the mini expansion yet, so Golden Warrior will be going out too. So I'd say it's still worth crafting Victorious Blader. Because one of the things is Swordcraft uses a lot of legendaries, but a lot of those legendaries go in a lot of decks. Like there's... like, you have Taketsumis in pretty much every Swordcraft deck. Opulent Strategists on almost pretty much every Swordcraft deck. Victorious Blader is in every Swordcraft deck. Almost no exceptions. This card is in every Swordcraft deck. Golden Warrior is the only real card that's like specific. The only legendary that's specific to this deck that you don't really see anywhere else. But Badab Katha goes in a lot of decks. Just lot of board control decks. and can be used as just kind of like a filler legendary. She's just very good on any deck that likes playing boards. And Meshtron's also just a very good legendary that, again, goes in a lot of decks. So a lot of the cards you'd craft for this deck are cards you'd use a lot of the time. I said the only specific one is Golden Warrior, which unfortunately you really can't cut because you need him for both the spell fanfare and the Arthurian Light to kind of chip in the extra damage through the storms. So you can't really make this deck any cheaper, but it is a good one. It's a good value proposition. So aside from the Golden Warrior, but Golden Warrior, wow. Yeah, I think there's no better way to explain the deck a bit more than playing it. So I actually know what I'm doing with this deck, unlike I'm making guides for decks I'm really bad at actually playing. Like I understand the decks, but just on the moment I'm just like, how do I play this deck? So I'd kind of like to say that if you want to learn actually how to play a deck, you'd possibly want to look more at some other people's guides after watching mine. Like, well then that's good, you can use them in here. So I'm gonna keep all of these. I'll play this Golden Warrior on, just so I keep the Golden Warrior so it's just a 3, but if you have a Wayfaring Goblin in your opening hand, you almost always want to keep it because then it gets the cycle effect, which is very good. And obviously Guiding Bale or Angel is probably your best 2-drop to play. There's a thing we can do here that could be quite dangerous. I might play one of these opulent strats just as okay, that complicates things a bit because she doesn't have Bane at this level, does she? She only gets Bane on Evo. So yeah, what I'm going to do is play the opulent strategist and take graceful maneuver. And hopefully that represents a pretty big threat because it's a 3/3. And if they can't clear it, then I can play graceful maneuver. Yeah, they're not clearing it. They're not even. So all they're killing is the Golden Bellringer, Guiding Bellringer. So what I can do is I can play this graceful maneuver on her, which gives me a free Evo, and the board clear, and a swing for 5. So that's let me push a lot of damage by taking that. So it was a bit of a risk, but it's a risk that paid off. Okay, so the problem, that's kind of annoying though, because I don't really have the okay, I just need to do. That is kind of annoying because we can't actually. I can't actually do anything about that right now. So I'm gonna have to just take the fact that this doesn't get the Evo stats because Dancing Mini Soul Devil is very annoying because once on each of your opponent's turn, when an enemy funnel rolls, gives it -2/-2. So that basically cancels out most base evolve stats. But also, because Swiftly Quickplayer doesn't get any stats on Evo, it means she actually can, if you just play him and Evo him, he just dies. It sucks. So they're making a slightly annoying wide board here. Yeah, okay, so. So yeah, but they're only hitting us for So what I can do... So I'm just going to say, what's my rally count is the main thing. So I get Brave Vanguard boosted. So the thing is, I don't want to put them below 10, because if they have Vengeance active, then they can just use... Like, they don't really want to. I'm going to do... Like, as much as I'd like to have reducing the cost of it, I don't really have that luxury at the moment. I kind of need to deal with this board. Hello, Blobble. But the double dancing mini soul devils actually makes this really awkward. This sucks. Where's my So I have to do this kind of awkwardly, so I need to opulent strategist for graceful maneuver. And then I got to do this very weird play because of the dancing mini soul level. So I evolve that, and that will basically eat those effects. Then I can play graceful maneuver and clear off this very annoying board. So now the only problem is I don't have any, what I can do next turn is I can get to, yeah, that's not too bad. Oh no, they were at 5 evos, goddamn. Oh yeah, because of the Kali. Yeah. This is not looking good. They might be able to recover pretty well, which is not great. But at the very least, so I'm going to start with... Need to get that ward out of the way. That lets us get the royal summons in. It's important because we really need this Taketsumi. And we can do... Yeah, okay, this is a very good... This will help us set us up pretty well. So... Hero of the Hunt you, and play Badab-Katha to get... I kind of did that in the wrong order, should have... and good, hit one of those. To get Badab-Katha the buff, but I don't think it'll particularly matter because they're going to get a Bloodlust Demon active this turn anyway. Yeah. So that's going to be annoying because it's going to heal them, but we have... Sounds weird, I guess that might have been... That's that is awkward. Ooh, that's annoying. That'll heal them a lot. One thing I didn't take into account is the fact that I don't... Oh no, I've got Taketsumi. So I'm just need to doing some quick brain math. So yeah, I can't kill this turn, which is a problem because we might die horribly. But I might be able to kill next turn. So our main thing here is trying to survive. So I don't really care about anything staying on the board. I, again, did this in horribly the wrong order. So we want to do that so we get an Evo point, and we want to do this to hopefully not die, and also get another Morrigan as a cost. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so if we don't die this turn, we've almost certainly killed them. But there is a lot of ways that we potentially die this turn. So they need 5 damage. Because we're at 11. And they'll be at 20, so. That is not 5 damage, but they've still got 5 play points. That is only 2 damage. Okay, that's fine. That actually makes our life a lot easier because it means we don't have to... It makes our turn slightly faster. But yeah, this is absolutely a So we play our Swiss Free Quickblader. We Gospel, we just play all our buffs on it. We don't care about overdrawing because we're killing them. And we evolve him. And that's GG. Hit them for 24. We have other cards we can play, but honestly, that's just showing off. Probably could have made that slightly larger because I realized we had another Bad Abkatha in hand. But again, that's just showing off. And that's pretty much how the deck goes. You just kind of like hold on. You want to make a that is the thing you have to kind of adjust thinking. Is it's not like kind of like pushing damage. You have to think, okay, how can I hold on until I can get my combo off? That's combo decks in general. This one's more of a I'd say it is probably a bit more of a beginner-friendly combo deck. Just go back for now. I just want to talk through the deck a little bit. It's more of a beginner friendly combo deck because it does play like a decent mid-range around, and it has got this fairly simple game plan that's easy to, and you've got decent like lines to get your combo in hand. You only need 1 Royal Summons at Rally 10, and then you get your cheap Swiftly Quickblader. You'll probably draw 1 because the deck actually has a decent amount of draw in it, because you can possibly draw cards from Opulent Strategist, drawing cards from Wayfaring Goblin cycles on turn 1, Bumpkin Recruit cycles, Royal Summon Guiding Bellringer cycles, or better than cycle, or draws you, or goes +1 card if you evolve. So it's pretty easy to assemble the combo, and Golden Warrior makes it very easy to like ensure you've got at least one of your buff spells in hand. So, but yeah, so I've been enjoying this deck a fair bit, and yeah, it's fun. So let's take it into, might as well take it into the Rotation Cup. I think that'll be a fun way to spend a decent chunk of the stream. This will probably be the mirror match, which might be a real problem. Brave Vanguard, you don't want Swiss Free Quickblader in your opening hand because it doesn't really do much. Like Brave Vanguard, and also we probably don't want in opening hand. Oh, that's much better. Again, if we don't get a better 3-drop, we'll probably do the same thing with this Opulent Strategist again, which is played on 3. Especially knowing so there's Suave Bandit on, so that it could still be the same deck. So we could play a Forged Weaponry on 3, but that's usually better save. That's also pretty strong. But I think what I'll probably do is do the same thing I did with the Opulent Strategist before, which is play it on 3 with the Graceful Maneuver so that I can push damage whilst also clearing the board. Okay, so they're playing Glittering Gold rather than So yeah, I already attacked, so I can't really play the forge weaponry here. So I'm gonna do this. This is a bit riskier because the glittering gold deck does have some more removal, so I might get punished for this. But if I'm not punished for this, it's going to be very good. But they do have a targeted removal spell that they run. So it is very possible I get punished for this. So we're kind of crossing. Okay, that was not a particularly scary play. So I kind of want to make sure I get the use out of this anyway. And then we could save the Wayfaring Goblin, but I kind of want to just play it as a... Well, it's probably not going to survive, but we want to get our rally count up. But this pushes, again, we do the same thing we did last time where we push a lot of damage and have a very threatening follower on board. He's also behind a ward. Journeys is interesting. I don't know if unless they've got some other form of removal, I don't see how they can kill my strategist. Oh, they've got the front desk forward. But yeah. So they've recovered pretty well, but they've also not had put their Okay, that's pretty good. Golden Warrior. So I really would like another really don't want to spend these royal summons just yet, but I've got 2 of them, so I can afford to spend 1. I would have really liked to have got a Takatsumi out of that 50-50, to be honest. Yeah, because that's given them the room to play the Geomon. This is going to get a lot harder because they'll be able to heal through our chip damage. Okay. As I said, kind of need to cycle through. Do better. So I'm going to Bad Kappa first, see what that gets me. Pumpkin Recruit's pretty good. That's another card to cycle through. Okay, I think for the last card I'll play this Metatron. Not drawing a... Let's put we're at rally count 9, so we'll hit rally count 10 just from the Arthurian Light next turn, which is pretty good. They'll be able to clear this board, which is kind of annoying. Quite easily, because they've got Geomon active, so we can't really rely on like keeping a board. So we mostly want to try and just like punch through any kind of HP they have. Taketsumi's effect is going to be quite strong here, because that completely negates the damage from the main source of damage on board clear. We are still facing a pretty rough fight because they'll be able to... Also, we'll be able to keep hitting them. They'll be able to heal a lot from their glittering golds. Is the big problem, so we kind of just have to try and stay alive. That is especially going to be a pain in the arse. That means they're not clearing the whole board. Oh no, they are. What does 2? Fuck. Anyway, so the Royal Summons for Taketsumi. So now that we've done that, we should draw a card. Okay. That's pretty good. We can evolve him. We can basically clear off this entire board, which is pretty good. Again, I keep doing this in the wrong order, so I want to set up this bad Abkatha and hopefully draw any kind of so I'm actually just going. So might as well go face. I'll let them have that. I'm gonna save this Penguin Guardian just in case it turns out that's what we need for the buff. But I could really need a Evo point recovery. So I just need either another Taketsumi or another So when it comes to the next turn, I can gamble a little bit, try and get them putting a ward in play doesn't hurt us too much because we've got Angel's Grace. Octrease is a bit of an annoying problem. I guess they had to do it in that order, otherwise they wouldn't be able to. They're gonna push a decent chunk of damage with that remnant. They're just kind of trying to heal there. That's not good. So we kind of have to gamble a little bit and kind of like hope that this Morgana's Gospel fetches us any kind of Evo point recovery. Okay, great. Taketsumi. Taketsumi is. Oh, Brave Gun Guard is also very good because that lets us Yeah, I'm just doing the maths here. If I have Angels... No, I don't need Angel's Grace because I'm killing the ward. So if I Forge Weaponry... Taketsumi and Brave Vanguard, that's lethal. Boom! That chip damage wasn't mistake, because if they had any more HP, they would be alive right now. Oh! As you can see, this deck does pretty well. Because I think, yeah, Glittering Gold Sword just isn't. They're playing a control deck, which obviously is disfavored against a combo deck. Because Glittering Gold Sword is very much built around going, okay, I'm just going to keep wiping your board with cheap Glittering Gold effects, with the Geomon effect, and combo sword just a combo deck just goes, cool, you're dead. I just play these cards and you don't. Actually, do we have a... I have to check the replay on that, because I think if we had an extra player point, then it wouldn't have mattered if they were at 20. They were playing against Runecraft. Okay, so we don't really want to keep any of these, especially against Runecraft. Like the opulent strategist play I was making last time doesn't really work against Runecraft. They've got way too much removal for it, so it's just not worth it. You just end up losing all your cards. Obviously still very good when you get things, so they're probably playing Spell Boost. That's like the most common Runecraft deck going around. Okay, so we've got a pretty good... Like, turn 3 is a bit awkward because we kind of want to play... I'll probably just play Golden Warrior, because the Arthurian Light is... Well, not usually. You would have liked to see you last turn, Wayfaring Goblin. Because none of our other options on 3 are particularly good, so unless we draw something, like another... Lots of people... I swear I'm seeing significant more amounts of chess these days. than I would expect. Because it doesn't do well. I've never seen chess win matches. But, okay, so I can't... it's a bit awkward because I want to... It's chess that changes things a bit. Because I do want... I'm still going to play Golden Warrior because I think tutoring for spells is pretty good. And so yeah, I guess that's one of our buffs, which is really good to have. I'm not going to bother trading because either they do it for me. Counter magic. Annoying. Yeah, and I don't really have any way to cleanly deal with this, so I'm just going to... That at least breaks up... Metatron at least is very good because it breaks off the counter magic, because that's... Counter magic is quite a bit of a problem for us because we don't have... We can ping it off the board, but that makes it our life a bit more awkward. So I'm just going to do this so that I ramp and put an annoying amount of wards in play. So they're still going to keep this Milady on board, which is a bit annoying. So they can get that effect going off. Uranus! At least he didn't get the free Evo, which would have been really bad, but that stops us getting a card, which is really annoying. And our rally count's really quite low, which really sucks. Like, I'd like to save this opulent strategist, but I really... Okay, we've got another opulent strategist at least, so... We can just... I think, yeah, our best option right now is just to clear this board. But not during another Golden Knight has really screwed us, because we really need to get our rally count up a lot more. We're still 4 off. I don't think their pawn count is particularly... what's the... Magical pawns are the place. That's 6. Is that after? No, so they've just hit 8, which is slightly annoying. So we definitely want to save this opulent strategist because they're about to drop that king, which is going to be a problem. We can at least put a bunch of stuff into place. So we might actually be quite disadvantaged against against chess. I think we've just had a particularly not great draw, which hasn't helped us a lot. So I'm just going to try and... this is just mostly playing followers to get our rally count up to 10. So this will get us to 10, and I'm going to Hero of the Hunt just to... Probably not a great idea. But yeah, if they drop... They're not dropping a king, which makes me think they didn't have one in hand, because they would have... Counter magic is very annoying. So even if it wasn't for the counter magic shield being in the way, we'd still not have lethal with this hand because we don't have any buffs available, which is quite bad. So I want to go do it kind of this way. This is mainly so get the card draw effect off her. And we can't play the Hero of the Hunt anyway. Okay, so we got a Badab Cather at least. We actually evolve. No, so we should evolve. So now we're really flush with Evo points, so we need to spend them. But that we really need some way to not drawing like if I know we wouldn't draw a Have they just not drawn the Magical King yet? Or are they just going for killing us with the That is... Are they not going to be able to clear the board? If they don't clear the board, then... We're still not in a great... No, they're clearing the board. They've got enough to clear. But we really need something to ping off that shield. We need to draw a Metatron or something. Ooh, that's annoying. That's really annoying. Okay. You don't have Storm on it, though. Oh, this sucks so much! We'll keep the Brave Vanguard in the back pocket, because if they play the Magical King... Okay. And he doesn't have Storm anyway, so actually I'm going to play this Brave Vanguard just to, like, neuter their board a little bit. Now what happens if I... That still takes... Whilst he does no damage, 0 damage is still some damage, so that still takes off their counter magic shield. Which is very important for us to not die. So I'm just going to do that. Kind of make our board very annoying, and hopefully they don't kill us next turn. Because we might just be dead to Yukishima. But this puts us... Ew, the fact that they're not removing our stuff is really annoying. But if they don't put a ward up... Okay, that's pretty good, the fact that it hit that instead of... Stop that! Let me kill you! Why do they have to draw all of their counter magics? They're just going to fucking... That's annoying. We still... If we had drawn Metatron, we would kill them. Which really sucks. But this is pretty much... Like, I might as well use this Morgana's Gospel. Because if I don't... There's like 2 Forged Weaponries deals 20 damage anyway, so I might as well draw Morgana's Gospel to get a stronger board and hopefully get something. Ooh, that's really good. Victorious Blader is really good here. Yeah, I'm just going to roleplay Victorious Blader. This makes it very unlikely for them to kill me with Yukishima. Or Mystic King, because Mystic King Storms now do 0 damage. Blah, blah, blah. But like, yeah. Victorious Blader just won us that top deck of Victorious Blader just won us the game because their main it reduces damage by 3, and of course their main form of damage comes in forms of 3, so that just does no damage at all. So all we'd really need is a way to like clear off their wards, and they'd be dead. So that was a game 1, even without the speed quick blader just because they had the ways of stopping our combo. That's like one of the main things that's obviously very good against combo decks, is especially ones that are like big burst damage, is effects that are like which are damage shields for your face, because that does stop stuff like speed quick blader dead. But then that's why you have stuff like Metatron and your ping and your like 1/1 pings off the like if we had Arthurian Light in play and we could just use our 1/1 knights to knock off the counter magic shields, that would obviously be really good. But we did not. So far, so good. See what match number 3 gets us. Okay, so Havencraft. Could be tricky. Okay, so Wayfaring Goblin, Victorious Blader on first 2 turns is pretty good. We'd preferably save this Penguin Guardian for when he has Rally 5, but if we don't have any better turns... Okay. Emerald Maiden doesn't really suggest anything, but it's most likely Crystallized Haven. That's what I see a lot of on ladder. Okay, so we've got pretty fast rally going here. We can... Yeah, it's Crystallize! Seeing a lot more Crystallized Haven decks with Hierophant's implements, but I don't really see it that much. Anyway, we're just... They're going to ping one of these off, but we're fine because arguably that just helps us make board space. Because we kind of want at least one of our things to die here, because then we can do Victorious Blader into Penguin Guardian and just threaten a really, really wide board. It's like I could deal with this Sapphire Priestess, but I don't want to. I want to make their life difficult. They can't Evo next turn, so it's not particularly a big threat. So I'd rather just threaten with this wide board. Okay, so they've drawn a Skull Fang, which is obviously not great. But then not likely to be able to take advantage of Sapphire Priestess's effect this turn. Even if they do get to 5 Crystallizers, yeah, they aren't. Like, they're gonna have a pretty spicy turn next turn, but then we're also... We also get our Metatron Evo, which is pretty good. Okay, so we can't trade in, which is annoying, because I was kind of hoping to Metatron Evo and play this Great Shield. Otherwise it's just kind of sitting in our hand. But, so they're probably going to... Also because the Great Shield gives us a follower that at least survives after they hit us with the... Thingamy thing. Because they're probably going to play Diamond Master to wipe our board. That's good. So we kind of want those shots to go on our 1/1s to kind of free up board space. Very good, very good. Okay, so that's probably Diamond Master and Wingy, yeah. Okay. As expected. So I could do is... Yeah, I can get to Rally 10 this turn and clear their board. Well, clear their... This is kind of the awkward problem of Yeah, I can get to rally 10. Because that got me to 8. And then if I play the Victorious Blader, then I get the Opulent Strategist. I'm gonna get the Wee Merchant's Appraisal to get our, yeah, so do that, and then do that for the Evo, because we don't really need the board clear, and this gives us an Evo point back, mainly. And they're only on 10 HP, but obviously they'll be making lots of wards, which makes our life difficult, so we do kind of really need that, Okay, they're doing a heal maneuver, which is going to... So they're not... Okay, they're not storming. At least they're not, giving a storm. Okay, that's pretty good. They're not healing that much, or... Okay, they can at least remove one of our boards. Okay, that's arguably pretty good for us. Like, we can definitely kill if we win the 50-50 on the Badab Katha. Okay, so... First off, we Royal Summons. I'm just kind of thinking how's best to do this. I think the best thing to do is prep for... Like, it's going to be hard to get in... Because they'll probably have wards up next turn, and they'll also heal. So I'm just doing a quick bit of maths. That's only... Yeah, without any other buffs in hand, we can't really rely on Swift Speed, so... I think it's better to kind of like play a bit more defensively, and hopefully we can punch through buffs with Takatsumi's. Maybe I should have played Takatsumi first, actually. We want to get these Morrigan's Gospels, also want to get this Great Shield out of hand, so... No, I'll just use this Bumpkin Recruit to kill this. So I'm doing this just kind of like push some more damage, because it's going to be kind of awkward to push damage through otherwise. Because they're going to want to Skull Feign this turn, I'm pretty sure. Which is going to... So it depends really how much ward they put in. So they've played 2 Wingies already, I think? No, they've only played 1 Wingy. So... Their ability to like make things have ward is pretty strong still. And we don't have Angel's Grace in hand. Okay, that does not look like putting a ward in play. That looks like playing Holy Lightning Bird and Skullfane. Which I think yeah, okay. They're not putting a ward in play, we win. Oh, wait, no, because I played the Great Shield. It's the Morrigan's Gospel is only a 50-50. This is slightly awkward. But we have to take that odds anyway. So, yeah, I shouldn't have played the Great Shield. Okay, come on, 50-50. Fuck! Ah! It's okay, we've got another Swift Quick Blader, so we at least survive. But, oh, that sucks. Okay, so I'm just going to make a very annoying board then. For now. Let's get another Morgana's Gospel in hand. Couldn't have hit. Okay. So the options to deal with this board are still pretty limited. But we're hoping that they have to burn all their resources in dealing with this board and not being able to actually kill us. And then we use this other... Yeah, Skullfane isn't scary. Doesn't even clear the board. Jilnese, if they give it Storm, is pretty scary, so they've probably got a Wingy in hand. Well, they do not have a Wingy in hand. Okay. And I'm just trying to do quick. Let's go for... So now we can just trade in and guarantee kill with the swift speed. That was actually a bit of a gamble because I've miscalculated, but it's not. Undefeated, baby! Well, alright, chat's gone a bit quiet. Is the stream still up, or is everyone just very silent all of a sudden? Is you're also trying to do... Yeah, it can be a bit of a rough start these days. Yeah, we don't really want to... Yeah, I'll keep the Penguin Guardian. Oh, we got better 1-drops anyway. So we get the Haven Craft again, so that'll probably be Crystallize again. Which is as I said, once again, if they get wards out against all combo turns, and we have Angel's Grace now, so we don't actually care too much about wards. So we just want to like hit them down when we have the chance. We don't really want to leave. That's not a great start for us. the Cursed Maiden to Skullfane. But at least we can like kill the Cursed Maiden fairly easily. So we're just... We could use the Brave Vanguard to clear... Yeah, I think I will actually. We put an aggressive board early. Because as I've mentioned before in my previous day, this deck doesn't really play much against an early board, so it can be quite difficult. They're getting a quick Skullfane off though, which is a bit of a problem. But we'll just... That was a pretty good draw because now we're on we do really need to get these bumpkin recruits actually killed off so that we draw the cards. So yeah, they're prepping up a Maus Jester, which is a bit scary. I guess that is a good reason to have Hierophant's Implements, just as another way of forcing down countdowns. Okay, so they're doing the somewhat smart thing of not really giving us particularly large amount of space. I could use this Forged Weaponry to push more damage now, but because we have Swift Speed Quick Raider in hand, I kind of want to save it to actually kill with. Same with this Angel's Grace. So... Evolve the stuff that has the I'm just having a bit of a think. We forge weaponry now. They're almost certainly gonna have wards in play next turn because of this Magus Jester. So we can't Swift Speed Quick Blader next turn. Yeah, I'm actually going to do this and just push as much damage as possible and hope for that. I just want to push them down fast enough that Swift Speed's Quick Blader with Angel's Grace will kill. So they're not going to Skull Feign this turn. They're going to draw cards. They're going to get their Magus Jester in play. They're going to try and are they going to give it Storm? Or are they just going to heal with it? Do you have the wingy? Give Julie Storm and make my life really sad. Okay, that's good. That's quite a relief that they did not have the wingy to give the Journeys Storm, or to buff the Journeys mainly. Okay. So what do we get? We get Takatsumi. We don't really have the rally to do it. I'm just kind of thinking what is actually... So it's better to... So I just want to push as much damage so that a Swift Speed Quick Blader and an Angel's Grace, which is 10 damage. So I want to push as much damage as possible this turn. So I'm going to use one of these Swift Speed, one of these Quick Bladers just to push the damage. So we can... Okay, that's perfect because that means they'll be on 10 after Skull Feign, and thusly they'll still be in range of Quick Pivot. If they have additional healing after that, like another Journeys, that's going to be a problem. But then we just wait up. So I don't think it's worth playing this Penguin Guardian either because they're just going to Skull Feign this turn. So there's no point playing an additional card to just like put our rally out when we might need it next turn to like not die. That's Journeys. Is that Journeys plus Skull Feign? Is that not Skull? Are they not Skull Feigning? They are Skull Feigning. Okay. So they kind of saw that line, which is annoying. And we don't really have... we could really do with one more rally pot with and just... Oh, we only had one more rally. So we kind of need to save this Takatsumi, which sucks a lot. So I'm going to leave Skull Feign in play because he doesn't really represent much of a threat, but I do need to deal with Journeys so that they don't heal up as much. Yeah, that's not a great Evo. But we need to hold on to... We need to Evo to clear, and we need to hold on to Takatsumi until he can actually... And so if we still had the... Okay, that's not particularly scary. That means they're not making a big wide board, so I just need some more buffs, please, deck. They're digging, which is good. Okay, I'm fine with them using Spiritual. They get to draw cards. They're digging a lot, which is not great for us. Okay. Golden Warrior, you're a bit late. But obviously you're worth playing because I really need an additional buff. Okay, Royal Summons will get us another Chakatsumi. So we can play both these Takatsumis to gain 2 Evo points and evolve 1 to... Like, we could Evo the Golden Warrior, but that's probably not a great idea. Obviously, the more they dig, the more chance they have of turning this around, so we're in a really tough spot. But, like, Skullfane still clears our board, but we take slightly less damage from it. That depends if they have the 3rd Skullfane in hand. So they're running short. No, not the Japanese! At least they don't have an Evo point. But they are going to give it Storm. So they are going to heal to 19, and we really need another buff. We basically have to draw, at this point we have to draw... At least our 1/1 ward is being real annoying. Because it stays us from that bit of damage, but yeah, they heal to 19. You're hitting them down so well, but they managed to heal up so much. You are not a buff, but you are a very powerful card. Wait, shit! I forgot about the Ancient of Gods in play. Never mind, we've lost this. I got so enticed to playing it, I completely forgot about the other, the fact that it instantly dies. Like, we could have removed their board, but I think we really needed any buff spell there. We needed, yeah, if they did not have Japanese to heal up that extra bit, we would have been we would have beaten them. As I said, it was a risky line that I tried to go for, but we don't really have anything that's we can buff and battle cover that's not particularly worth keeping. But yeah, no, I went for a risky line and it did not pay off. No against Forestcraft, which is not great, especially when they're playing a card on turn 1, which means they almost certainly have a Phantom Bloom in hand. There's no other way they'd like risk an Autumn Leaf Man in play. There it is. Yep. Am I going to have to Swiss Swede Quick Blader just to kill this Phantom Bloom? The answer is yes. I don't want to risk it. You can't afford, again, otherwise. It is unfortunate, but necessary. We had another, that would have been really bad if we had left that alive. They could do really nasty things, but just having a really aggressive start. Okay. A Guiding Bellringer Angel and a Wayfaring Goblin. What I'm hoping is the Wayfaring Goblin survives so that we can evolve it for healing next turn. So maybe I should have played the Brave Vanguard. They're just... Okay, so they're gonna leave the Wayfaring Goblin alive, which is... Okay. Well, okay. We get to turn this around slightly a bit because we get our Golden Warrior in play. We get to evolve him. And then we get to play a Penguin Guardian with Storm, which is lovely. Which means this Brave Vanguard... Against Forest, this Brave Vanguard does have a pretty high chance of being able to act as a Swiss Speed Quick Blader. Because if they will... It is quite likely they'll play... Oh no, this looks scary. Okay, that's not too bad. They're not hitting my face at least. So as long as they leave the goblin alive, we can start recovering because we can evolve that. So depends what kind of... Oh no, they're not keeping the goblin alive. So... we've got a Swift Speed Quick Blader in play. So I'll probably use this... Opulent isn't quite there yet, so I do want to... I want to play get two followers and play this turn. So Brave Vanguard does get Bane, so we want to use that. I want to do that, and then we can buff him. I should have spent an Evo. I forgot to spend an Evo point. Whoops. Oops. That's we're Evo point down. But we'll get... Does mean next turn, because we'll get a follower from this and a follower from this, we'll have our rally activated. That hurts. This is the thing. What's... Okay, Guiding Bell Ring is pretty good, so I'm just trying to think if it's best to Wee Merchants or Dual Blade, or not or Graceful Maneuver. I think I'm just gonna do the simple thing and Graceful Maneuver for things, and I might as well play it first because I'm gonna be playing a bunch of these spells. So well, yeah, I'll do Royal Summons first. So you get Taketsumi, and then we I could have done Evolve Taketsumi to get our Hero of the Hunt discounted. I could have gone for the other option. Then I play Hero of the Hunt so that I get damage resistance. Graceful Maneuver on you. We draw a card. Is it worth playing this Angel's Grace to get a buff to all allied followers? No, I think it's best to save it for the Swift Speed. Oh, I've attacked now anyway. So that puts us in a pretty strong position. We're in a pretty good spot to... This is where Taketsumi gets in very handy because he negates a lot of their damage. Like, this Tamlin's gonna hurt us. But it's not going... Like, it's gonna clear our board, but if it's... They don't have anything to clear Taketsumi with, I'm pretty sure we just killed them. Yeah, they're just dead. Because we just Swift Speed... Evolve him. Large weaponry. And that's exact lethal, baby. We had much more than exact lethal, but... And that is... Advanced to Group A! Getting into Group A, when you're as good as me. Getting into Group A from the first round isn't too bad. It's like getting into the Group A finals that can be a pain in the ass. But yeah, that is Quick Blade of Sword. Let's see what we got from our rewards. But yeah, it can definitely be a sorry I didn't address earlier, but yeah, it can definitely be a bit of a struggle getting... I think that's a problem with endemic to all card games, apart from like brand new ones where everyone's on a kind of level playing field. Is that starting out it can be a bit hard. I think early on it's best to focus. So pick a deck you think you like have a bit of a mess around on the first of all, you want to play solo a bunch. You want to go through them, do practicing. You get a lot of rewards for playing against the AI. You get a lot of rewards for playing through the main story. So that's a good way to get started. That's always what I'll suggest to get started, is don't dive straight into player matches. Because even at low ranks, you'll be playing a lot of people who net deck a lot. So they will be doing, because a lot of people at low ranks, what they'll be doing is focusing. So you liquefy, you pick a class, and you liquefy everything that isn't of that class, regardless and if it's animated or legendary. Also, just not being particularly attached to animated card. Like, obviously, you can collect them if you want to, but they're worth extra vials. So if you're thinking, oh, I don't really care much for animated cards, it is definitely worth liquefying any and all animated cards you have, unless they're like cards that you'd actually need to recraft afterwards because you don't get them back. But like animated cards that you have in surplus is always a good thing to liquefy if you don't like, ooh, pretty cards. Some of the animated cards are just kind of a bit naff, I'll say. What are we doing? What time is it? It's quarter past 9. Yeah, so I've been really quite. This deck gets results, and it is quite fun to play. Okay, unless need to. Let's change this because I auto-filled the deck. It's like, oh, I want to use some of my promo cards. I don't want to use all of them. I wish I could, like, one feature I would like to add is the ability to say, I would like to not use these specific promo cards. There's no way to get rid of promo cards at all. Once they're in your collection, they're in your collection forever. Because obviously they wouldn't want you to just vial them, because they're animated cards and sometimes they're legendaries. But as I said, I do not care for the OG Shadowverse anime, or particularly the Swordcraft character from the OG Shadowverse anime. So I'm just going to switch these on for the original Forged Weaponries with this cool dude with dreadlocks on. But, yeah. I'm trying to think. Probably the most budget deck, like the cheapest deck you can make that does well in the current meta, in rotation at very least, is Handless Blood, I'd imagine. Because whilst you'd still need to craft like at least Parasoles and probably at least 2 Vampies. Other than that, it's a fairly budget deck. It doesn't even run that many golds. What is this? It's not going to be a full-on deck guide, but just like a quick look at Handless Blood. Just see what it's running these days. Festive Bloodcraft. Yeah, so it's just running. The only golds are Demon Brand and Eternal Contract. Honestly, Demon Brand can be replaced with a Goblin to run it on a slightly budget thing. So the only legendary, the mandatory legendary is Parasoles. Vania is very strong and should definitely be in the deck, but you don't need her. I actually am missing 1 Parasoles, so I can't actually make this deck, and I don't want to. But you could run like 2 Vanias and 3 Sanguine Slashes or something. But yeah, I'd say this is definitely the kind of deck you'd want to make on the cheapest, like the cheapest viable meta deck right now is they call it Festive here, but it's basically just because the Festive theme is all about the Handless theme in Bloodcraft. But it is definitely, also it's a very easy deck to pilot, admittedly. You're just like, I need to equip myself to 0 cards in hand ASAP. And you do that. And then you just kind of like burn your opponent down and hopefully they die really quickly from stuff like Full Moon Leap, Sanguine Slash, Razor Claw, and Parasoles Pings. And Room Service. Just lots of damage you can throw out in this deck. But obviously there's also, you can also have a look at Some unlimited decks can be quite good to get started with, because those are usually pretty cheap. Like, people still play Resonant, and their Resonance Portal's very expensive. What is it? Like, D-Shift, Runecraft, the two legendaries in it are completely optional. Like, it's not... Like, unlimited, D-Shift is what I play. Like, you can replace these Meltinas with just more card draw, like 2 more Witching Moggies and a third Angel's Blessing. Sacred Bird, whilst useful, you can replace with like Dreams of Adventure. There's a very similar thing, whilst not being as cheap, so obviously slightly worse. Obviously, you can also replace stuff like Greater Will with it. But yeah. So don't be afraid to dive into Unlimited rather than Rotation, because Unlimited does have a lot more viable budget decks. It has a lot more decks that like have no legendaries whatsoever. This is an unlimited version of the Swift Speed combo. Interesting. Obviously, Swordcraft is very expensive these days. Koizumi is very expensive. Summit Havencraft look like. Summit Havencraft has Skullfane in it now for some reason. I don't know why Summit Haven has Skullfane in it, but it has it. I guess to mostly for his accelerate, you don't usually, and then you just play him to kill, because obviously he's going to blow up your own Summit Havens because they are not damage. Okay, I can see why it's in there. You just have really cheap. See, that's another example of a fairly cheap deck, because it's only got 2 Skullfanes in it, and honestly... Well, it's only, so we all gotta start, as the thing, is that if you're frustrated with losing, but you want to play Shadowverse, just play the solo. Don't play against people, play the solo modes. There's a whole, there is 16 story chapters with all their leaders to play through, and some of it's pretty good. And it's definitely, and it gets you a lot of rewards, so... If you want to play Shadowverse, but you're frustrated with losing, there are plenty of decent rewards you get for, like, actually just playing against the AI, against the story. Obviously, I don't play through it because I've already played through most of the story and I don't really want to spoil anything. And again, practice matches against computers you can pick. But yeah, if you want to just keep playing against people, and if you're fine with to get that learning experience, as is with any competitive game really, then obviously keep going. But yeah, definitely, if you want to, if you are finding is that what I would actually recommend is if you can kind of wrap your head around decks like Dimension Shift Runecraft or Summit Havencraft, then Unlimited is definitely the best place to go for the best place to start for a cheap deck. Like Summit Haven is a fairly simple deck where you're just like, I play Summit, get Summit Temple in play, and Summit Temple means that your followers deal damage equal to their defense rather than attack. So then you have stuff like Fox Fortune, which would otherwise be a 0/3, is actually something that hits for 3 damage. As similar with Meowskers, which is probably going to be your main source of damage. He's a 1/3 Storm that deals 1 damage to the enemy leader, and makes Meow's Jester's hit just a little bit harder. There's a very clearly just a aggressive Havencraft deck that likes playing, yeah, the only amulets in it are, in this deck are Summit Summit Temple and Sneak Attack with Mayor's Jester as a Crystallize. So Ascendant Prism Priestess always fetches one of these two. That's pretty nice. And you've got Dual Brilliance, which also always fetches one of these two. And Cursed Maiden, which always fetches one of these three. And then, yeah, it's all... And then Kamiya to draw cards and buff your board. So yeah, it's a very simple... It's a kind of weird, but fairly simple, like, aggressive deck. And Skullfane's just there mostly to be repeatable ways to accelerate your sneak attacks and Mayor's Jester countdown amulets. Or potentially blow up as a way to destroy your own Summit Temple, because their defense can be lowered by them taking damage, so it can make your followers actually weaker. While Skullfane... Well, Skullfane also heals them. Also heals your followers, so either way, he's a good way of, like, You'll usually just play him as, like, a 0 play point, 4 damage to face, after you've hit them with everything else. Or just a board clear and you play another Summit Temple. So yeah, there's a lot of, That's an interest... Actually, you know what, let's, I want to play that. Talking about this deck, I want to play now. Let's do some unlimited. Let's show you some unlimited. Yeah, I'll make the Major Prayers. That's a card that's rotated out. So this is Summit. Nice to have some variety going into the next unlimited GP. I probably will go back to D-Chef because it's probably better. Be a fun deck to play, so let's just go for Riamu with Riamu sleeves. Classic. As I said, I don't play much Unlimited because I'm still only in AA1, which was the rank I was in back when they did the Unlimited. That was the rank I was in back when they did the Unlimited rotation thing to start with. They just copied your ranks over to both. Because I don't really play ranked Unlimited that much. So, Dragoncraft, probably good. So, I'm gonna keep all of this. Hopefully they don't have any amulet destruction, so we can just play Summit Table. Okay, so we can play Ascended Prism Priestess rather than Saintly Squeaks, because that'll be better. I wonder if there's a reason to actually play the Terran Great Trees that Saintly Squeaks puts into play. I guess this is just as a way to make sure you have 2 amulets in play to give him Storm. Oh no, that's... That's pretty good. Fetch the Sneak Attack rather than another Summit Haven. Okay, if there's some kind of a Zoe combo deck, that scares me. Okay, I'm just thinking how exactly I want to do this. I could... I think rather than Major Prayers, I want to Saintly Squeaks that has Storm and Skullfane this. Because then that means next turn we can Major Prayers for 2. So I think the Night Terran Great Tree is mostly just so you have 2 cards in hand for 2 amulets in play, so that's stuff like Saintly Squeaks and Major Prayers. Oh, that's very annoying of you. That actually screws up my turn quite significantly. Yeah, I forgot about that. So I'm going to use this, in that case I'll use one of these major prayers to draw cards instead. I should have done that first, considering everything. Okay, so we've got an Ascended Prison Priestess, which will hopefully... I'll put that in play so that we've got another amulet in play. So that what we can hopefully do... is, Oh no, they're just dead. They didn't have a, They didn't have any solutions to this. They just decided, yep, nope, I'm done. So that was a pretty, So we were pretty advantaged in that matchup against Dragoncraft because we're playing a very aggressive deck, and they take a while to get going. They did have the Amulet Destruction, which I'd forgotten that Sacred Springs was a card, but still, we didn't need the Summit Haven that much. Winnie! Hey, Winnie! Thank you for the raid. I'm just gonna wait a little bit whilst everyone's possibly faffing about with ads. Didn't hear the raid alert go off. Is Stream Elements just being slow? There we go, there's the alert going off. Welcome, Raiders! Riamu, yes! He's in Shadowverse. He's playing games, but yeah. Very happy to see you make it here, Winnie. And I'll just give you a shout out before my turn starts. Oh, you're playing Minecraft. Those old crafty mines. Yeah, so welcome Raiders. My name is Kurosami. I'm a digital rabbit VTuber. I play a lot of Shadowverse, as you can see. I'm playing right now. And yeah, I play a lot of games. I play a lot of Shadowverse. I play a lot of the main game that's got my brain in a vice grip right now is hang on a sec. Give me a second to do this potentially powerful turn, depending on what this draws me. Ah, dang. Okay, but we can still do this maneuver. Yeah, I play a lot of video games. I do Shadowverse is a game I play like every Sunday, hence the name of the stream, Shadowverse Sunday. A Phoenix Roost Dragon. Oh, that's actually really good. That's actually quite funny. So let me just do this turn. And then get that out of there. Yee! It's pretty, isn't it? Yeah. I play Shadowverse every Sunday, and I play a lot of other games. The main game that's got my brain in a vice grip that I usually talk about all the goddamn time is Signalis, which is an indie horror game that came out a few weeks ago. It's really good. Please play Signalis. It's amazing. Other than that, yeah, I just play a lot of games. I've got a karaoke, as you can see. I recently hit the follow account I needed for. Yeah, yes, please, everyone. I know they're conceding, so I can talk more and give Winnie the Twitch shout out as well. Yeah, so I play. One of the things, I'm doing a karaoke stream soon to celebrate hitting 100 followers. It's my first time ever doing karaoke, so that'll be sometime this week. I haven't decided exactly. It'll be either this week or next week, depending on if I can figure out when to actually fit it into my week, into my schedule next week, because I'm actually quite busy with stuff aside from streaming. But I do want to get my very first karaoke stream done soon. So that's exciting. But yes, let's give Winnie the proper shout out. Or the other shout out, because we have to really wish they could make it so the bots could do the... There we go. But yes, did you have a fun time playing Minecraft, Winnie? I'm like, I should try getting back into Minecraft. I just need people to play with. Yeah. Building is fun. Like, that's what I usually do, is I'll start getting into is my friends will start up a new server or a new location in a server and be like, okay, I have this project and I will build it. And I've set an achievable project, and then I will build that, and I'll be like, right, I'm done. And then I just won't log into the server ever again. At least people appreciate my stuff. The last one I did was like a fun inverted pyramid on my friend's server. I leave my mark, I say, I have built this monument, and now, like the creators of Stonehenge, I shall vanish. So I'm just like, oh, I've had my and I don't get enough inspiration to make much more else. But yeah, so right now, the Shadowverse, it's a card game, as you may have seen. It's very similar to Hearthstone, if anyone's played that. Because Hearthstone's becoming less and less of... Like, when I was used to start talking to people about card games, I'd usually say, oh, I like Hearthstone, and people are like, oh yeah, because loads of people played Hearthstone, but now no one plays Hearthstone. Like, but a lot of people have played Hearthstone at some point, so that's still good. But eventually that cultural zeitgeist or something, I guess, will vanish. Also, as you may have noticed, it is a game of many crossovers. Because it's made by Cygames, and Cygames fucking love their crossovers. So you can go to the shop and buy characters to play as that are just cosmetic. And a bunch of them are from the weird Shadowverse animes, but a bunch of them are other Cygames properties. They do not, sadly, you cannot, you can still buy the all the Grand Blue Fantasy leaders, so you've got all the Eternals and all the original bunch, if the scroll wheel would stop by it. You can also be Street Fighter. That's one of the weird. Some like it's just completely random which of the crossover leaders stick around and which are like a limited time. So you've got the Street Fighter 5 ones. They're still there, but those are a lot of the ones that stick around are mostly just the other Cygames stuff, so like Grand Blue Fantasy and Princess Connect and Uma Musume. And that kind of stuff. But yes, this is fun. I play it a lot. I've been playing it for many years, so I'm just using, and I use my Sunday evenings to play it, and I do. I also do like in-depth deck guides. I usually do them. Like, they're kind of in-stream, so they're not, like, professionally edited or stuff, and I'm still kind of, like, learning the ropes myself. But I put those up on YouTube, and people appreciate them. Because there aren't that many guides that, like, go card by card, and they kind of explain what exactly each card does. Yeah, Capcom, that's probably why. It's, like, two big crossover companies. Like, yeah, we'll just keep this crossover up forever, because why not? Oh no, probably plays Grand Blue Fantasy. Maybe not Shadowverse, but who knows? But yeah, Shadowverse, it's a fun game. Welcome to streamers. So, usually about the time I start winding, and so I just want to play. This is usually a time undoubtedly, They probably have a lot of people on both sides that get along well. Okay, one fun thing. What I like to do with is I'm gonna like on my last hour or so of the stream is like open up a lobby for viewers and challenge them to. You can do this fun draft mode, which is called Take Two, which if you're all curious, it can easier to show. But in this case, where you're not like drafting your own deck, you're drafting your opponent's deck, which can be very funny. And there's usually a good leveling field. So I just open the floor like this, and if anyone wants to join and play against me, it's there. Maybe I should do where I'm just commentating on no, because then I have to like really sort out another room and sort up spectating. Plus, I don't think I have consistent enough people in chat who actively play Shadowverse to have like just my chat play against each other. So things might be a little one-sided. It's because I'm that good. But yeah, that's me. That's all about. And what exciting things, other exciting things happening. Like you actually have decent desk space tomorrow. Thank you, Gaiden. I am out of water. That's a problem. Like it's one of those games where it's like I've been playing Shadowverse for so long. And it's like you're getting used to the fact that like, oh, I'm not that good. I'm not that good. But no, I'm like just because I'm not professional level, just because I'm not in the tournament scene, doesn't mean I'm not good at the bloody game. As my great Shisho would say, I'm good. I'm damn good. But that went really. I did not expect myself to accidentally get that aggressive. I'm good. I'm damn good. I am good at the game. I'm better than vast majority of players, and I'm better than a vast majority of VTubers. If you've ever seen anyone from HoloLive play Shadowverse, I haven't actually kept. He would say that. He said I've taken that as kind of like a self mantra whenever I try to improve myself. Like, I'm good. I'm damn good. Usually after, usually in the context, it's either from me playing Shadowverse or me playing, Shadowverse, Dark Souls, or, Monster Hunter. Because I just have to remind myself, you know, lots of people struggle with this fight on their own. They usually have to always have 3 playable, and I'm just soloing it the entire game. Just by myself. I'm a lone hunter. Because I can't be bothered to add people now. Everyone's playing Rise on PC rather than on Switch, and I don't want to buy a game I already own. Anyone wants to gift me Rise on Switch? Yeah. I am good at video games. And I'm going to prove I'm really good at video games. I'm going to do there's a sneak peek onto next week's schedule as I'm going to start a run of Signalis on survival difficulty, which will be a massively spoiler-filled run because I want to like randomly look at things and talk about all the lore bits. It's just so good. It's just so good. This is my good friend, buddy, regular, Caden. I hope you got the stream muted, Caden, because now I'm going to make the deck for you. So, people don't know, so Take Two is kind of like a draft format if you're familiar with other card games, where you basically you try and construct a deck for people. So, in this case, it is Take Two, where you're constructing your opponent's deck. So you start out, you get a choice of 3 randomly selected classes from the game. So I'm going to give Caden Portalcraft because I keep giving him Runecraft because Runecraft is a very complicated deck to build, and it's usually not great in Take 2, so it's really easy to make a bad deck for your opponent. Okay, I really don't want to give him Saturnal. And you're oh, this is really this is probably the worst of the two. So you get basically you go through, you pick. The name Take 2 comes in the fact that you're picking 2 cards from 2 selections. So I pick these 2 cards, and those cards go into the deck. And that's the deck that Caden will use. So I'm trying to pick, because I'm picking cards for my opponent, I'm trying to pick worse cards, but a lot of these are actually just really good. Okay, I don't want to give him more dandy marionettes because that can actually kill me. The Tellurian Painter is really good for Portal Craft. Probably that. That's oh no, now I can't give them Gilius because I've given them the one card that works with, but I'll give him Gilius anyway. It's unlikely that it's going to, actually very likely it's going to screw me over. Rhino Man. I don't want to give him a follower that can't be attacked. That's really bad in Take 2. Yeah, that one. I'm giving him a lot of removal. This is really quite bad. That's probably the worst, even though it's giving him a nice early curve. Yeah, that's probably the worst option. I really don't want to give him some Divine Treasure. Way too good in Take 2. Now I just wait for Caden to build a deck for me. Obviously I can whiz through it because I know the cards like the back of my hand. I keep going for a drink, but I don't have any water in my bottle. I really should have removed it. I did fill up beforehand, I've just been very thirsty this stream. But we'll see, what Caden comes up with. So far, I remain undefeated in these matches, because Caden is very new to Shadowverse, and is a bit mean, but he's having fun, I'm sure of it. You wouldn't keep coming back if you didn't. And like, Take 2, this format of where you're given a deck that you have absolutely no idea what cards are in it. So you can't check your deck beforehand, you go basically just see what you draw. Is really fun for putting you in like really interesting situations. You'd be like, okay, how the hell, what do I play around? Because you can play around what your opponent has, but you don't know what you have. So you know your opponent's deck, but not your own. And obviously, I can't remember half of it, but I know I gave him a bunch of Ultraplane life forms. 2 of them. And here we go! We shall see what we've gotten. We're on the Shadowverse Flame Arena. We've been given Runecraft, and he got his Portal Craft deck. Okay. So Bergen's pretty good. So I definitely want to keep that. I'm probably going to take out... I'm going to keep the Secrets of Onmyo, so because I've got the new Raiders in chat and I want to be engaging, so I'm playing... He's given me Runecraft, which is, as the kind of name implies, a very spell-heavy deck. Ooh, that's annoying. Might as well spell boost this, because otherwise we have no idea what other spell boost options he's put in the deck. But it's got a lot of cards that have a very tight synergy with with each other. And I might as well play that. I have no idea. It's no point waiting to see if it's got a festive card in hand. So it's very easy to kind of put a bunch of cards in your opponent's deck that just kind of like do very little because they're looking for a synergy that isn't there. Like spell boost requires you to play a lot of spell boost effects requires you to play a lot of spells because they're cards that whilst they're in your hand and you play spells, they get additional effects, like this one deals more damage. Then you've got these chess cards which are built very much around the other chess cards, so if you don't have any other chess cards in hand, then they're not going to be particularly useful. Meanwhile, Portalcraft has a lot of just generally good fillers. No, I would have made good. But you do you. Most like these Levi's with Earthright, which requires a specific amulet in play. Yeah, that's pretty alright. So we're kind of hitting the situation, we've got this Mystical Knight, but we've not seen any cards that summon these magical pawns, which reduces its cost when they get destroyed. We don't have any Earthrights to get the extra effects off these Levi's. And now they've got their Altiplane Lifeform in play, which just eats my stuff. He just banishes things the attacks, which is not great. Yeah, that's some card draw at the very least, which is good. Okay. You don't do much at all. Let's just... So I might as well play this as like a 2-2. Even though he's not doing any of his additional effects. So we've locked that down from attacking for a turn. Because we want to kind of like wait and spell boost up these Aqueous Spheres to kill it. Hopefully, maybe. Just not generally in a great spot. Because there's a room. And I gave Bane to the Analyzing Artifact. Interesting. I'd have saved that for like a puppet of some kind. Still using up the Gilius now. Okay. So I want to get rid of that. That is important to get rid of. And then we want to draw some cards. Again, we get... Ooh, that's actually pretty good. We're not playing it this time. Let's see, does Hannah actually have anything she tutors for? There is! We get a Craig, who's not particularly useful, because again, that's another card that requires a deck built around him. But at least it's better than nothing. That hurts. Okay. It's actually given me decent amounts of chess. Okay, Mysterian Right is not a great thing to play, I don't think. Not in this current... Might as well get some chess going in here. Ooh, Adherent Have Elimination's pretty good. We don't want it right now, but pretty good later on. So getting that Burgent is actually pretty good for us because it means we can actually consistently get spell boosts. Oh no, they held on to that Cultivate Life. But it's not actually that scary. They are pretty gross though. Just got a swarm of onions. Trying to think of what the actual best thing to do is. I do kind of want to kill these. Just trying to think what's the best way to do it. Play him. Play that to get that, because that draws a Casa card. Ah, that's really good. That lets us get Ah, I goofed that up. Goofed that up a bit. Okay, so I don't really want to fuse any of those, but I do really need the to get that Earthright going. I do kind of want to just. Oh, you had another. Oh, you drew the other Cultivate Life. I remember I only gave him like 1 or 2 of those. Ugh, that's annoying. Just looping Cultivate Lives. That is slightly a problem. Ugh. Just generally not looking good. Okay. Okay. Oh, I don't have an Evo point. I'm an idiot. This is really quite bad. I didn't get to kill that, and that's possibly going to get quite large if they have effects to put cards into their decks. See, this is how this can go. It's just like, I don't know what's in my deck, and I'm losing cards. Also, I've drawn a shitload of cards. Ooh, that's not good. That is real bad. I don't have a way to get rid of a Baja. I do have a Rhino Man that does very little. Yeah, I'm just. I think I'm a bit screwed. So you might not have a way to kill this 3/3, and thus do not kill me, but I think I've lost this. Yep, no, we're dead. This is why you don't give your opponent Portalcraft in Let me know when you're back, Killers, as a way to see what Caden has to say when he comes back, having... Yeah, no, you also got lucky with the draft. I had absolute, like, you just got nothing. There was nothing but good choices. I think Portalcraft is very good in Take-Two in general, but you had absolutely... I was like, I could either give you this absurdly good pair of cards or this pretty good pair of cards. And that was you gave me Runecraft. And Runecraft's awful in Take-Two. You monster! I'm being bullied by my most loyal chatter. Sadness. Despair. I've got to toggle with this. I know it's how... I know it's the life of the streamer is to be bullied by chat. But... I like that I can close my eyes. I'm just having a faff around with the tracking because it's still really happy with it. I can't. I could do this. I could be cool and have one eye open. Am I cool, chat? How cool am I? Can't really do it that well. Like if you hold the eye open, it doesn't really let me have the other eye open that much. So I'm like really on the extreme end, but it's still hard. If I have my glasses off, it's easier. Yeah, but then I can't see shit. I mean, yes, because the cute's in the tags. I don't have room for very cool, and I don't think I am actually that cool enough. But I can be cool. I think I can be cool. I think you'll think I'm cool when I've done at the karaoke. Get out of here, kid. Had your fun. I don't know if anyone else actually wants to play, but I'm kind of like, I think I'm winding down. I've added... No. Sun, dere, sun. I know you love me. Otherwise you wouldn't have bought so many bloody gift subs. You wouldn't be here. Every single damn stream, near enough. You didn't adore me. I'm getting a bit tired, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to go. I think I'm just going to like wind down in chatting. Yes, I do want to end the private match. But yeah, Shadowverse is fun. And... yeah, I am getting a bit tired. It's just by the time of year it's hard for me to do late streams unless I'm really unless I'm like super pumped. Like I'm not saying I'm not pumped to play Shadowverse, but like I play Shadowverse a lot. If I was playing like something again, like a new game that I don't play much, or a more exciting thing, I'd be like, yeah, I'll play things. Yeah, I need more coffee, but I also want to actually be able to sleep. So unfortunately, I gotta limit my caffeine intake so that I can actually sleep at night after the stream. It's unfortunate compromise. If I drink more than... yeah, if you count both the if you count the 2 Halloween streams as separate streams and not just a one continued other, you did miss that stream. So you do not, in fact, have 100% attendance. That's why I said near enough. But also, that would be very unfair. You were there on your daily attendance. Your daily logins is still 100% Caden. You've still got that going. I mean, I don't stream every day. But yeah, so I'm probably thinking about what I'm gonna do next week. I'm probably going to be, like, I'm a bit busy. I've got partially a bunch of stuff, and I've got to be reworking my desk and stuff because I'm getting new monitor arms and all that jazz. So I actually have desk space again because currently my setup is insanely cramped. So hopefully I'll be able to have actual desk space again tomorrow, unless something's terribly wrong with the monitor arms. Well, I can't deal with that. I can't stream around your standards, Kaden. You gotta deal with it. You gotta deal with sometimes. You will eventually, at some point, miss streams. You have to live with that fact. You don't have to force yourself to be at every single one of my streams all the time. But I appreciate you being there. I appreciate having it. Like a lot of streamers aren't on. I consider myself very blessed to have you, for having the single consistent person who's always there to chat. That makes me very, very happy. It's probably one of the big things that keeps me going. Like, I'm putting too much pressure on you now. No, you don't have to be here. This is no. That's bad. I shouldn't be like that. But yeah, but yeah, God of War says hopefully I can squeeze in the karaoke, because obviously I want to put it on at a time that people can show up, but I also don't want to. Because it'll be a shorter. Because I'm imagining it won't be a particularly long stream. I imagine it's only going to be like an hour at most, an hour and a bit at most, because I'm going to tire myself the hell out by singing. And so, I don't want it to be like on a proper stream, on my usual stream day, because I want to still do usual streams. Ooh, I just want to keep playing, because I want to play more Hat in Time, and I want to get started on Signalis Survival Mode, where I just nerd out about all the kind of tiny details. Thank you, it makes me very happy that you enjoy your time in my streams. Yeah, hopefully Twitch won't take too long to approve my. I must be like this. Like, check there. My throat's going a bit dry, so I might have to stop a bit early anyway, because I think my throat is dying. I didn't have it. I need to make sure. Possibly, I need to remember to actually do tea and warm ups before I do my karaoke practice, because I've been doing. I've got a basic set list ready. I just need to like check how I haven't taken the plunge and started listening to my own singing voice. I haven't done any recordings, just to kind of like see how I sound like. And I'll probably have to figure out a better audio filter balance thing. I might want to shuffle things around in general, because as I've realized, the kind of style of all the kind of like easy setup guides are very masculine sounding voices, and whilst I still have a fairly masculine voice, I do want to kind of like make it a bit more lighter, a bit more gender neutral. So I want to try and see how I can do that by just with equalizer settings. I don't want to do like proper voice modulation, but I want to like balance it out a bit more just in the equalizers. But I don't know shit about audio balancing, so I'm gonna have to learn just the bare minimum. And yeah, obviously I want to have a setup suited for singing, so that it'll sound possible. But yeah, let's go back to. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wind down. I'm gonna make this not a particularly long stream because I am tired. So let's start to see who's around. Let's go to the chat room and start seeing who's around to raid. Because yeah, my voice is starting to die, so I need to take a break. Who's is online? Let us open the twitch.com. Sure you will, but I can't really count you as an unbiased source, can I, Caden? Okay. Let's raid Medea. Medea's online and she recently hit 300. My good friend Medea. She's recently hit 300 followers. Just give her a little congrats on 300 followers raid. But she's my friend. Oomphies. Get along. Yeah. And she'll put the fuck. Yeah, there's too many. Why doesn't you? Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you again to Winnie for the raid. I'll give you a. I'll have to give you a mention on Twitter once I'm got my brain unscrambled and relaxed. Yes, thank you for coming along. And as it, I'll have my schedule for the next week probably up sometime tomorrow, unless I'm completely knackered from setting up my desk. But it shouldn't be too easy. I can set up my schedule pretty easily. You know, so they've got better art to put it on. So yeah, let's go raid Medea. She's playing. I feel like I raided Medea almost. Well, actually, I've raided her while she's playing Doom, but most of the time, I guess she's been playing Alone in the some form of Alone in the Dark. But I guess she has been playing those games a lot. She's just been going through all of them. But yeah, let's go say hi to Medea and congratulate her on 300 followers. But for me, it's good night and goodbye. Bye.